Yeah, my regulars are. Gosh, I can't wait till our new house is ready. No more having these problems. I don't know what happened. But we're back live. Let's see if everybody catches back up again. Let's see. Oh, and the picture's way better. Awesome. Okay, so now we've restarted the live. I'm sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. This is one of those things. This is what I mean. It's hard to get episodes done or even run the channel when we have, we're in between our house. So we don't have our Wi-Fi signal here. We don't have the high-speed internet that we usually are streaming from.
We're using my hotspot.
Yep, we're using a hotspot for the computer and the 4G LTE or whatever for the camera. So is that better? Did it just stop? Is the picture better, Candy? Is it better now? Hopefully it's better. Galileo got active. He decided the camera was off. He has a very timid disposition. I've handled him his whole life, and he just doesn't seem to. Yeah, see, he's jumpy. He just doesn't seem to calm down. Doesn't seem to calm down at all. But he'll just, once he gives up, he kind of just gives up and sits and chills for a minute. Once he's nice and coiled. Look at him. He is such a pretty snake. I don't care what anybody says about colubrids. They're just as cool. They're just as cool. Real quick, I know he doesn't really watch the channel, but I know I missed Bob's birthday live stream, so happy birthday, Bob Bledsoe. Sorry I missed it, bud. Very, very, very busy week. Haven't been able to be on that particular Patreon channel quite as often as I usually am. So, yeah, they really are active because, and that's what I like about them. They're so different than, my ball pythons. And hopefully here we'll be getting a new snake that only Patreon is going to be privy to seeing for a while until we get him acclimated, but hopefully here in the next couple months we'll be adding some. Yeah, I bet it was a fun night. I bet everybody was there too. And I missed it. And I was going to pop in for a minute and say, happy birthday, hi everybody, but I didn't get a chance to. The night got away from me. So I don't know what's everybody drinking this morning? I'm drinking Starbucks. Let's look at it. This is how much I love coffee. Look at this. 5 shots of espresso. That's how I get down.
6 pumps of syrup.
6 pumps of syrup, 5 shots of espresso.
He's extra.
And a grande. So, in other words, when I get off the live stream, I'm going to put my cape on and fly around the city. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I'm gonna go with
I have had a busy 2 weeks. Very, very busy. Melody's been picking up extra shifts on her job, with the new place coming up. We're trying to prepare for everything, get all this paperwork done and money in the right place. And, look, I haven't shaved. You can see where I haven't even shaved this morning. So, Sonia made it back. Awesome.
Good morning, Sonia.
Candy says, hi, Melody.
Good morning, Candy.
Morning, everybody. So what? Okay, so I know what you gotta. Yes, I am scruffy.
Yes.
Thanks. I just pointed that out, but thanks for pointing it out again. Shaving's overrated. You guys, I used to have a big beard.
I didn't like it.
There. She didn't like it.
I didn't.
But I used to have a big beard I wore for a couple years, and then she didn't like it, so she likes the young, pretty face underneath it. If you're here, go ahead and smash the like button. It's only going to help our channel out a little more. So, if you're just showing up, this is Galileo. He's an albino milk snake.
His cutest little face.
And he looks like he's got something on his head. We think he's got a rub on his head here from. He likes to hide under his water bowl a lot. He burrows quite a bit. So he gets under his water bowl and his cork, and I think he's just got a rub spot there. So we'll treat it with a little Benadine, and then hopefully it'll just come off during shed. So, but he's perfectly healthy. Look at that skin.
Look at his face. He's the sweetest baby.
And I believe he's actually getting ready to shed. So,
he's a little pale today.
Yep, he's a little pale, but he's not in blue, well, pink.
He's also going to eat today.
Today's feeding day, so he's going to get his mouse today. But he has to go and do his job first, which is be on the show. He bloody. See, he's such a sweet little guy.
Yes, once he's done freaking out.
I think you should see. Okay, I can do that. Just send me a message on Patreon. That'd probably be easier. Just go into the creator message thing and send me a message on there. That probably I'll see it quicker there. As I should. I don't check my email as often as I should. I really don't. I don't know why. I get emails all the time. I'm horrible for it. But I think we might get Charming out later too, so. Or text message. Will do. Yep, yeah, send me a message on Patreon. So, and that's the other thing is I've shot some videos for the Patreon, for my subscribers on Patreon, the paid members, that I haven't put up. So I still have some videos that I need to get put up. Like I said, it's been a busy 2 weeks, so I apologize for, the absence and not getting material and more content out to you guys this week. I haven't even uploaded shorts for like 2 weeks now. So, I'm trying to maintain while we're going through this really, really busy part of our lives. So hopefully we'll get back to the normalcy of what this channel does. The Uganda, let's talk about that. The Uganda fundraiser, not going so well. I don't think we're going to make it. So Sonia and Candy, I know you guys donated for sure. I'll get with you guys and we'll decide. I can send back whatever you had donated, or we can put it towards the channel, or we can donate it to an NARBC, whatever you want to do. We'll discuss, we'll make a plan in private about what we're going to do, and then we'll kind of talk about it on the channel. Once we got it figured out, we'll say, hey, this is what we ended up doing. Well, what I was thinking also, another option would be just to fund our own trip, right? Because I think I talked to Dave and told him how the live stream went and all that, and I know my buddy Tom King, he got one of the seats that was available, and I don't know if there's still one up. I haven't talked to Dave in like a week, so I don't know if there's still a seat available or not, but if so, I'm going to keep trying. I mean, that's just my nature. I don't give up. I like to do big things. But I didn't have a lot of time to plan or market this, so it was kind of then I was sick that whole week before the big live stream. I was in the hospital, so it was kind of like, one thing after another. But I think I'll take your advice. I won't give up on Uganda yet. I'll talk to Dave and see what we can get done. But let's see if it's feasible. Yeah, that week sucked pretty bad. Yeah. Oh. I seen that, but like I said, I had an extremely busy week, so I wasn't really paying attention to a lot other than, the important things that I needed to get done because it was that important. I had put some things off, that I shouldn't have, so I'll take responsibility for that, but I did. I just had to bang out this whole list of things to do last week. So again, I'm sorry. I love you guys. I thought about you all week, and I just felt bad all week. So Sonia, I hope you didn't lose your finger. It didn't seem like you're gonna have to get stitches, and you're being pretty funny about it. So, um, there's that. Uh, so did you? I don't want to say anything, but did you solve that problem that you had, Sonia? Did you end up? You could talk about it if you want, but I don't. I don't know if you found a solution for that big problem that you texted me about. And I don't, like, I trust Garrett, but I don't know that that's the best way to do that. Have you tried the flower? Have you tried doing the flower trick and seeing if you can track it? So, okay, since you said glue traps, I'm going to talk about it. So, there was a time where our neighbor came over and he was extremely afraid of snakes, and he knows that, we love animals. So he came to our house, knocked on the door, and he had caught a garter and a glue trap, and it was half dead when we found it. And thankfully, Melody worked very, very hard and very patiently to get that snake off of the glue trap, and it was very hard. And his mouth was stuck sideways and open, and one of his nostrils was in the glue, so he could only. He was just in horrible condition. It was very hard to get him off, and it looked very, very painful. And that's why I was so. When you said glue traps, that's why I was so like, oh, don't do that, because I just don't think. I mean, it's probably a good way to solve that problem. I've never done it, and I just, but he knows better than I do. He's more of an expert than I probably will be in the next 20 years. Garrett is phenomenal, but that's just not the way. It's not the way I would go about that. You know what I mean? There's safer ways, more comfortable ways that you can find them and track them down without possibly hurting him. So, look at Galileo. Look at this milk snake just stay still.
He's a good boy.
This is crazy. He like rarely ever stays this still. He's just curled up. I guess he's good. It's good to go. So, hey, if you're here, smash the like button, please. Hit the subscribe button. It's gonna help our channel. Even if you don't come back, we could use the subscribers. I put a post up on the social media last week, like, we need to hit 500 in order to monetize the channel. So, I put this whole post up. Whether you watch it or not, whether you're into exotic animals, maybe you'll get into them if you end up watching the channel. Just hit the subscribe button. Smash the like button if you're watching. Let's see. Let's go back to this. My big boy house snake escaped. Yep. Glue traps suck, but I have had no success in getting people to stop using them, so I tell them to keep me on speed dial and check them at least twice a day. Yeah, that would be my concern, is just it being stuck. And not that Sonia in particular would not be conscious about it, because I fully believe she would. I believe she probably checked that thing 4 or 5 times a day. But I just, try the flower thing. I've done that before. I know you check them all the time. Like I said, I know who you are. I know how much you love your snakes. But we've all lost snakes. If you have multiple snakes, if you've owned snakes for a while, you've had one escape. Probably in the beginning of your husbandry, And a lot of times, it's from keeping them in a fish tank, or you slightly close the door, turn around and grab something, and come back and it's gone. Little things like that. And I free roam my snakes all the time. I just posted Dorothy crawling all over my bed, and but I keep a very, very good eye on them. But still, sometimes you will get distracted. So don't feel bad.
We lost Galileo for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we lost this guy for 2 weeks. He escaped through, he was much smaller at the time. So the little holes in the top where the wires drop in for the thermostat and the lights and all that.
thermostat.
We had one of those left open. We didn't put the clip back in, and this dude escaped through this little bitty tiny hole, and was gone for 2 weeks. I thought he was gone, and then we found him. We found him. Guess where we found him? In our breaker box, curled up on a breaker.
In the basement.
In the basement. I don't know how he got down there. He probably went down with the laundry or something, but that's where we found him.
Figured out when our son flipped the breaker in his room.
Yep, what she said.
And the little hole he got out of, the little clip wasn't in it because there was a thermostat wire going into it. He crawled through the hole with the little thermostat wire in it.
Okay.
But now he doesn't have thermostat wire.
Yeah, and then I had to chase him all over the breaker box to get him out of there. So, but he didn't get shocked. I didn't get shocked. We got him out. Yep, nice warm breaker box, exactly. Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have found him had my son not tripped the breaker. I went down to flip the breaker back, and there's like this spot where an old breaker was, and I just seen his little head looking at me. I was like, dude, no way. So, lucky find.
Yeah. He was just going, it's the warmest place in the basement.
Yep, warmest place in the basement. But I look all over for him. Looked all over for him. Yeah, he's a lucky guy.
We never found one.
He's a lucky guy. He's my only colubrid right now. So I've been looking at this king snake, and I just haven't gotten permission to buy him yet.
He was our first buy, our first snake.
But I'll tell you about the king snake. I'll probably take a picture and post it. Looks awesome. No. CCVR 2014. Losing a dog is I mean, that's losing a family member. We had a dog. My wife and I had been married for 25 years, and we had gotten a dog named Tiva. She was just a mutt dog, but she was the sweetest dog we had ever had, and we had her whole life. And she passed away on our kitchen floor next to my wife and my son.
About 14 years old.
At 14 years old, and we had her cremated, so we keep her with us. That kind of helps that she's still with us in some fashion. So
She's upstairs.
maybe find a way to memorialize your relationship with the dog, because you know, dogs are one of my favorite animals. Dogs, bonobos, chimps, snakes.
We don't deserve dogs.
Yeah, firm believer. We're firm believers. We don't deserve dogs. That is our loss, and I'm sorry for your loss. I really am.
That's part of my job, meeting all the good dogs.
Nguyen, am I saying that right? Nguyen? He is a beautiful snake. He's albino milk snake, and his name is Galileo.
He's my baby.
He's a very curious guy, very active.
Look, I see myself.
Very active, and keeps you busy when you're holding him. I love it. I love it. It's not easy losing a pet. Yeah, any pet, you know, any pet is hard to lose. I agree. One of the reasons I like snakes is because they live so long. They're going to outlive me. My kids are going to have to take care of my snakes.
We lost a
Or their
tarantula
babies.
a couple months ago.
Yeah, we lost a tarantula a couple months ago, and that was pretty sad for us.
It was rough.
We didn't know how old he was, and you know, he seemed to be eating fine, and then one day he just wasn't. So it happens. It's unfortunate, but you know, I like to believe that when pets are with us, I mean, they're living the best life. We try to give them the best life they possibly can have, you know, and I think that's something special, you know. And so I think they probably appreciate it in a way maybe they don't even understand, but we got that time with them, you know. We got to give them a life that maybe a snake in the wild wouldn't have, or you know, a dog wouldn't have if you wouldn't have got, you know, you never know what a dog, cat, or a pet's future would have been without you being in it and giving it the love and care that you gave it. So kudos to you.
I think we got my phone.
I told my family that the brown nosing mine in my will. That your dog or your snakes, yeah.
He loves the beach and is tired.
My kids are, I think, I don't know. Caleb and Lyric are really into the snakes. They really love them.
Animals in general.
Yeah, animals in general. Jacob loves them too, but I think he is gonna kind of do his own thing. I don't know. We'll see. They're probably all gonna watch this live stream and be like, "Dad, you got that all wrong." But we'll see. Ooh. Yeah, lucky living near a beach for sure. We lived in Florida, and our dog loved it. Our cat loved it. Our dog loved it. We used to take our dog out paddleboarding all the time. We got a paddleboard that she get on. She rides around with us. We had lunch on the water. It was great. It was a good life. Good life for a dog. Look at this guy. So now he's decided to be active. Come on, buddy. There you go.
Talking about my plant, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Melody's talking about her plant. Pink Princess Philodendron.
Yeah, she's so pretty.
Pop in here and say hi.
Hi. She's got a new leaf. I'm proud of her. She's amazing. I've got like 5 of them.
If you guys don't know, she's on, what's that website? Palm Street.
Palm Street.
Yep, she's on Palm Street. She sells her own plants. So go check her out. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I prefer animals to people.
I like both.
You have a black thumb. Well, then you should get a black. Oh gosh, now I can't remember what it's called. I have them. It's a black plant. Zeke? That's not the name of it. I don't remember. Melody will tell me when she comes back. So get you like a Venus flytrap or something. Those are pretty hard to take care of too. What's an easy one? Spider plants or Transcantia. Or if you're bad at watering, you can always get succulents. How do we talk about plants? Melody's got us talking about plants, and this is a snake. This is an exotic animal channel. Okay, so Melody makes her own plants. She grows her own plants, and she puts them in reptile ready, bioactive ready soil. So it's all organic. They've got their own mycology, their own nutrients already packed in the soil that they come in. So they've already got a good start. You can put them right into your enclosures. If you have bioactive enclosure, you can leave them in the pots and set them in there. No harm will come to your snakes or any toxicity to your environment. So she's on Palm Street. Melody's Plants, I think, is what she called it. So we've been farming and growing plants and doing things like that for a long time. We make our own habanero jelly and all that stuff. So yeah. We try to stay pretty crafty and doing interesting things because life is about experience. So this guy here, he eats a large mouse every 2 weeks. Let's talk about this snake. Every 2 weeks he eats a large mouse, and he'll get to be probably 5-6 foot long, but he's gonna be really skinny. He'll stay thin like this. They keep these thin bodies, and he's really starting to develop these climbing muscles here on his side. I don't know if you can see, but milk snakes, corn snakes, these little colubrids like this, when you hold them, they're much different than like a boa. Boas are similar, or a python, because these guys are semi-arboreal. So they have these muscles right here. There's like this hard ridge. You can see there in the camera a bit. They tighten that up, and that's what they use to grab onto things on the walls, like texture on walls and stuff like that. And so they feel a lot different when you're handling them. They're a lot faster, they're a lot more stiff and strong, the more muscle. And they're really interesting snakes. And they'll poop on you. They'll musk you. Yeah. And I think he got Melody this morning when she got him out. I think he pooped on her this morning, so. But they do that once, and then you know, he's really excited when I get him out. He's really jumpy and wants to jump out of. He'll literally jump out of your hands. But then once he calms down, he kind of acts like this, you know, or he just kind of sits and hangs out. And so he's a really cool snake, really different to handle than other snakes. And I love him. I love him very, very much. But we've been looking at some king snakes too lately. So what's everybody drinking this morning? We haven't even talked about coffee. It's coffee and snakes. We talked about snakes, right? So what's everybody drinking this morning? I suspect Candy probably has our Red Bull. What are you drinking? Monster Violet. I just weighed them and realized they lost weight. That doesn't make you a bad snake mother. I just weighed all mine too. Mary Jane is like 5 pounds now, guys. That's awesome. I think next week I'm gonna pull her back out. Regular old Folgers. That's what I had first thing this morning was a couple of regular old Folgers. Well, McCafe, whatever's here. And then I had to go to Starbucks and get a Superman drink. So, small cylinder in between big feeds until they catch up. Yeah, because you have mainly colubras, correct? And they eat, but twice a week. This guy eats twice a week. Every 2-3 days, he gets a large mouse. So, I'm not sure. I think hog noses eat every 2 weeks. Yeah, you got a corner and a hog. That's what I thought. So twice a week probably would. I mean, that's how I feed him. I don't know what their feeding schedule is, and but I know he takes twice a week, and that's really helped him out tremendously with his weight. When he was younger, we were only feeding him once a week, and then as he got older, we realized, oh wait, he's out moving around more because this is my first colubrid, so then I did a little more research like I should have done in the first place and figured out we should be feeding him 2 to 3 times a week.
Sundays and Wednesdays.
There's so many snakes out there I want to get. There's just so many different kinds of snakes that are just awesome. I said I probably would never own a venomous, but I would love to have a baboon viper.
Prince Charming just took his rat.
Did he?
Nice and quick too. Came right out and grabbed it.
I was hoping to bring him down at some point.
Well, you were still doing this, and I gotta get in the shower soon.
Charming's not gonna make the live stream this week. Look at this dude's little eyes.
I can grab you a lizard if you want.
Every other week, but I'm feeding them snacks on in between week. They are 4 and 6 years old. Okay.
Aww.
So they're a little older, so the feeding slows down a bit. Gotcha. Excuse me.
He's so pretty.
I just weighed all of my snakes too, and
Oh yeah, put in the notepad.
and yeah, I had to up some meals. A couple of them made it over 500 grams, so I had to move them up to small rats. So now we're doing 10 small rats, 9 small rats, 10. I think I ordered 10 small rats this week. So, and today's feeding day, so when I get done the live stream, I go feed everybody, which is always neat.
He's the sweetest little guy.
I know, he's just being so cool today.
Yes. Do you want a lizard, or you just want to keep Galileo out?
Let's keep Galileo out.
Well, I'm gonna jump in the shower.
Okay.
Get ready for work.
Melody's got to go get ready for work. Sunday is our only day off together, but, we have some goals to take care of, so she is taking up all hours that she possibly can. So, cheers to her. What else we got to talk about this week? I have an exotic show coming up next week, so I'm going to buy some more feeders. Yeah, I was going to go to Schaumburg last week, but I didn't have time. Dave and everybody was out there, and my buddy Mark had a booth out there, and I was going to go out, and even Saturday morning I thought, man, I could just go grab some coffee and head out to Schaumburg. It's like 3 hours from me, and film an episode and talk to some people, and I just never ended up going. The day didn't work out that way, and like I said, the last 2 weeks have been so busy. It's the last 2 weeks have been so busy. It's been hard to schedule anything in, so I'm behind on a few things, but I used this last week to get caught up on a lot of stuff. So, how long till you move to the new place? September 5th. Well, that's the date we have now. It's September 5th. So, but this is like the third date we've gotten. So wish us luck. Hopefully this is the last time it gets moved. Cause I'm ready. I got 3 snakes and toads right now, which is fine. They're great. They're doing okay. They're not minding. They don't seem to have any attitude. They're eating just fine. They're, everything is normal. But Mary Jane, for the first part of her life, I believe, was a tub snake. And then I gave her a bioactive enclosure for a couple years, and now she's in a tote again. And I feel bad because I love her. So I want to get her out of that tote. I'm going to get her back into her enclosure. Because I don't like, if I don't feel like they're comfortable, I'm just so self-conscious about my husbandry that I feel like if I don't feel like they're comfortable, then I worry about them all the time. I worry about their mental health. Is that crazy? I don't think it's crazy. But I'm always thinking about, how must the snake be viewing this situation? What does it think is going on? What is going on in their little heads? Because I want to make sure that I'm always trying to not be the problem, And that's why, we talked a couple weeks ago about giving your snake it's making it feel like it has its own autonomy at least, so it can move where it wants to, and you're not trying to, force it to do things it doesn't want to. And that's pretty important, It's another reason why I don't really take my snakes out a lot. I might take 1 or 2 over to the pet store every now and then, but even then, the car ride I feel like stresses them out a lot, and I don't like to do that. I keep them nice and calm, so when I pull them out, they act like this, and not like they're gonna go do something scary that they don't want to go through. See his long tongue flicks. I'll tell you that he's really comfortable. He's got his tongue coming out there quite a bit, so that tells you he's really comfortable. He's not really scared. Them short tongue flicks, they do that so they can get a little scent of what's going on because they're unsure of what's happening. So at first they do these really short tongue flicks just to get like a scent particle. And they're actually trying to protect themselves a little more because they're slightly more vulnerable when that tongue is way out there. I'm sorry, buddy. When that tongue is way out and flicking way out there, they're a little more vulnerable. So the tongue flicks the short ones mean that they're just trying to figure out what's going on and make sure that they're safe. And once they feel comfortable, those tongue flicks they'll go out further, they'll last longer, and that's how you can kind of tell what mood your snake is in. How it's moving, of course, but tongue flicks is almost always a giveaway. So if you're handling your snake and it has a lot of short tongue flicks, just be very patient with it. Let it figure out what's going on. Let it get comfortable with the situation. Usually if I have a skittish snake that I'm working with, I'll get it out and I'll sit right there, right where I got it out at, and I'll wait 5-10 minutes for it to understand that I'm not pulling it out to kill it, to eat it. I'm not a bird. I'm not a predator. It's not going to be hurt. And then also figure out what's happening. There's no food here. It's not being fed. It doesn't smell like a predator. Nothing's happened to me yet. And then they usually will calm down a bit, and you see those tongue flicks get longer. Their movements get more slow and smooth, and that's how you know they're more comfortable. And then that's when I'll start letting them, come out of that ball. They'll come out of, if the ball python, will start coming out of that ball, and then you can start letting them kind of climb around and walk them. If you've never handled a snake before, there's a little bit of advice of how to do that and how to tell what mood your snake is in. A lot of people don't like snakes because they can't understand, because snakes don't have facial expressions, and as humans, it's one of the things. It's one of the ways we communicate with other animals, which we're animals. So it's the way we communicate with one another is through facial expressions. And our dogs and cats develop facial expressions, and we can kind of tell what's going on with them by looking at their facial expressions most of the time. But snakes don't have that, and we're not used to that, and that's that sets off an alarm, I think, for some people, because naturally we look for facial expressions as a protective maneuver for us. We want to know what we're dealing with on a constant basis. So I think that's one of the things that make people a little more scared of snakes. But if you understand their body language, that makes that a little easier to navigate. Now you have some information about what the snake is thinking, how it's feeling, and maybe how you should interact with it. What's working, what's not, what scares it, what doesn't. Is those tongue flicks. How they're moving is always important, but those tongue flicks are probably what you're going to see first. That's going to be the difference in behavior you're going to see when handling a snake. So look for those tongue flicks. And like I said, let them kind of do their own thing. He wants to get down, but I'm just giving him more and more, but I'm not stopping him from doing so. That's what I mean by giving them their own autonomy. So I think I'm going to pull the trigger. Yeah, so that's a great way to socialize, is put them in playpens. Of course, you don't put guys like this in a playpen, because they'll climb right out. But like my ball pythons, their whole lives, while they're in their first year, I have a pack and play that I bought from Walmart for like $40. And then I put puppy pads in the bottom because somebody's always going to poop or pee or make a mess somehow. So I put a puppy pad in the bottom, and then I put a bunch of different PVC fittings, paper towel rolls. I got a bird ladder I put in there. I'll have to repost that again. I have some video. I'll put that on the Patreon of the snakes, and that'll be from like a year ago, but I'll put that video up on the Patreon, so if you're subscribed there, you'll be able to see them. I think there's about 13 of them in the pack and play in that video, and you'll see what I use to kind of give them different different things to deal with and build those neural pathways of having to make on-the-spot decisions about their environment, and that helps them relax, because baby snakes are born thinking that everything wants to kill them, because everything does in their natural environment. Most everything will eat a baby snake. So they're naturally born really defensive about everything. That's why baby snakes are more bitey and more spicy than adult snakes, which is the opposite of what most people think. Let me get you. You're just kind of on the move, huh? African house snakes, and I have 5 more on the way. Bit by the bugs on you. But okay, as I was saying, let me get back to what I was saying and making my point for everybody else. Yeah, baby snakes are more bitey because they're programmed naturally to be that way, so they can stay alive long enough to, become adult snakes. So what happens is when we put them in the pack and play like that, and we give them the different things to deal with, they start understanding. They can kind of investigate the environment, and they start understanding that just because you come across something new doesn't mean it's dangerous. You need to investigate it, and they do. And it's really cool to watch, because you can watch them in real time, investigate the different things like the paper towel rolls, the whiskey boxes, the bird ladders. I put those round moss hides I've featured on the channel a couple times. I'll put those in there. I'll give them some hides, so they have choices, but they also have to deal with things and other snakes at the same time. Now, this isn't cohabitating, right? Because they're not in that environment long enough to have to compete for resources. So let me make that clear. I do not cohabitate my snakes. But when they're young, I do put them in that pack and play, develop those new neural pathways to make them a more handleable, calm snake. And what that does is take their stress levels down from what it normally would be when they're being handled as adults or even as babies. It takes their stress level down. So it makes it more enjoyable for them and for me. And it's good practice to have. I've never seen anything bad happen from people doing this with their snakes, you know, putting them in the pack and plays or having a play area for them. And we call it a play area, but, you know, they do a lot of investigating. And it's good for them. It's good for them. And you can see the social change in your snake as you do this. You know, if you do it once a week, a couple times a week with your baby snakes, you can see the social change in them and how they become, because now you're handling them too. So when you're pulling them out, they start to learn that when you pull them out, they're not going to be hurt, that they're safe when they're on your hand, and they're safe when they're with you. So it kind of makes you handle your snake a little more often for the good of the snake, and it helps you develop that relationship with your snake. Your snake is never going to love and hug you, but, you know, a lot of mine are choice-based handling now. So if I see them out moving around, I rarely ever go in and just open the hide and pull them out. I don't scare them like that unless I have to do something with them. But I'll usually wait till they're out at the front of the enclosure and I see them moving around the enclosure, and I'll just pop the door open and wait for them to notice, and then they'll just usually crawl right over, and I put my hand up and they crawl right out on my hand. And I prefer to handle them that way because I feel like we have an agreement. I have time to spend with you and you want to come out with me, you know. So not all snakes are like that, but you can teach even old snakes to be that way. It's just about your husbandry, how you approach them, and letting them know, kind of letting them think that they have their own choice too, you know, giving them their own choice. Now, Dorothy, some of you have met Dorothy. Dorothy is amazing. She's a very unique snake. I've never owned a snake like her, and she does not want to go back in ever. I go to put her back in, she turns right around, climbs right back up on my arm. I can't. Usually when I put my snakes back, I'll just kind of put them in there, let them crawl off my hand, and decide where they want to go, giving them their own autonomy. But with Dorothy, I can't do that because she'll never go back in her enclosure. She just wants to hang out all the time. It's crazy. You know, that's what was going on the other day when I posted pictures of her on my bed. She wouldn't go back to her enclosure, so I just set her on the bed and let her kind of climb around and do her own thing for a while. But she loves being out. She's an amazing snake. She's amazing. I can't wait until she's full grown, because I still think there's something to that, because she came from very, very socialized snakes. She came from very socialized snakes, and I think we were on to something about, you know, genealogy, right? About it being passed down from her parents, coming from a group of very socialized snakes. Maybe that got programmed in her DNA too. Yes, this is a snake. It's a albino milk snake named Galileo, and he looks like candy corn. He's a baby. He's a little more than a year old. Yes, he's a beautiful little boy. Welcome to the channel. It's Earthbound Misfits, Exotics, and more. And this particular live stream is coffee with snakes. See how we do that? So we drink a bunch of coffee and get chatty about our snakes, basically. And we learn and we talk and we share information with one another about husbandry, information. We check out some cool snakes. I try to bring different snakes to the live stream. Yeah, that's kind of what we do. So maybe some of that information I was just talking about helps somebody out with, you know, because I always see people, you know, why doesn't my snake act like he likes me? Why is he always hiding? Why is he blah, blah, blah? You know, always asking about behavior. Snakes are something to be worked with. You have to work with them, you know. But I rarely, like I said, rarely go in and just grab my snakes out of their hides. I usually let them know I'm there. At least, you know, I get my hand in there, let them tongue flick a few times to realize it's me. Oh, that's cool. Let them tongue flick and realize it's me, And before I, even attempt, if I have to grab them out, grabbing them out. So, but you just kind of work with them. Just keep working with them. Be consistent, be nice, make sure they're not too scared when you handle them. And
Over time, they realize that you're safe.
over time, they realize you're safe. They don't necessarily want to hang out with you. It's never going to be that way. It's not like a cat or a dog, but they tolerate you. They learn to tolerate you, and that's a pretty big compliment coming from a snake who's bred to, live by itself most of its life. So that's a pretty huge compliment. And I know it's not satisfactory for some people, but when you understand that these are solo dolo creatures and they decide to hang out with you, that's pretty cool. Dorothy is always curious about me. When I have her out, she's always tongue flicking at me and trying to smell my neck. And, I got that short where she climbed up on my head. Like, she's always doing stuff like that. Always doing stuff like that. Yeah, this snake's name is Galileo. After Galileo Galilei. All of our snakes, well, most of our snakes are named after scientists or some...
Or stars.
Or stars, yeah, some kind of cosmic name. So, we're huge into science, huge into evolution, biology. I love that subject, so that's why our snakes are named that. So we pay homage to some of our favorite scientists. People who have taught us things over time. I think, so I'm going to get a Hog Island boa. That's going to be my next snake, I think. It's going to be that or that king snake I was just mentioning earlier. But I think I want a Hog Island boa. And if that's the case, I may be trading. But we'll see how that goes. But I think I want to name him Wallace, after George Wallace, which is the kind of the partner. I wouldn't say partner of Charles Darwin. But they kind of discovered things at the same time with evolution. And that being one of my big subjects. There's going to be, if I name one Darwin, it's going to be a very, very special species.
Like a beagle.
Yeah, there'll be substantial changes, absolutely. Husbandry is different, but we want to diversify our collection a little bit, so. And, it gives us opportunity to learn more. And teach more and learn more with you guys. So
and experience different animals throughout our lifetime.
Look at his design. Look at his pattern. I love how this last band, where's it at? It's so broken up.
It just kind of fades.
It's pretty unique, and it's not red. It's not orange. You probably can't see it very well. Probably looks really orange for you guys, but. Everything else is really solid on it, excuse me. Except for that one band. I'm not even sure if that's unique.
He's gorgeous.
But yeah, he's gorgeous. He's a gorgeous guy, so.
And if he's a guy.
Let's see. He's got some dirt on him. So yeah, Hog Island boa. Really, I've really wanted one of those for a long time. And I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But I want to be like Candy too and get a hog nose. I'd love to have a hog nose. I think they're very unique looking and have these really great personalities. Yeah, just a bit of speckling. Yeah, and it's not even orange. It looks orange on the camera, but it's more red. You can see that.
He
There
looks
we go.
like candy corn.
Yeah, it's kind of mixed with orange and red,
He's pale right now too. It's usually what it is.
which I like to think is unique. Yeah, and this season he's a little pale right now. This isn't even in full color. You know what I mean? He's a little pale. So next week, maybe I'll pull him out next week for the next live stream just to show us how vibrant his colors really are, because he's just beautiful.
It looks like candy corn.
Yeah. He's an awesome snake. These guys are kind of violent eaters, man.
Yeah.
For being such a little guy. He just snatches that thing up and yanks it back real fast, and he's really cool to watch. I haven't posted any feeding videos yet. Maybe I should do that. Do you guys like to see some feeding videos? Is that something you want to see on the channel? Some people don't like those. Some people, you know, are squeamish about stuff like that. But I think if you come to my channel to see what's going on, you probably have seen that before, or are looking to see that.
They get frozen thawed anyway. It's not like it's live.
Give me a pork chop, yeah. Hognose makes them look cute and sassy. They are sassy. You don't really make them look cute and sassy. They are sassy. Every hognose I've ever met is got a crazy personality. On the live stream, was this the Uganda live stream we did from Pittsburgh? The one snatched right on the mark, like, and just wouldn't let go. It was funny. It
And
was
they're
funny.
so cute. Like, they don't even hurt.
Candy, most of us were only looking for one snake when we started doing this.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. You get bit by the bug. Yeah, they're big. Yeah, hognose are big drama queens for sure. For sure.
They're so cute.
They're like the fainting goat of snakes. Yeah, that's one of the things I think is really cool. Like, and I wonder what. I mean, their instinctual behavior is kind of zany in the first place, hognose. But what is it about their environment, you know, that makes their natural environment, that makes their behavior that way? It makes it so crazy and makes them have those personalities. You know, what is it that shaped those things? Those are the kind of questions I wonder when I think about characteristics of different animals. How did that become that? What environmental pressure was going on that made that an advantageous trait to have? Because they're certainly different than most other snakes. This guy, I bet he's about ready to go back in his enclosure. He's really looking, but he's being a good boy still. So, man, I hope you guys have a good week, and I will be here. We're not shutting down yet. We got another 8 minutes or so, 10 minutes. So if you're here and you haven't yet, smash the like button. Subscribe to our channel. We're on Patreon as well. If you'd like to support the channel, you can join for free, or you can join as a paid membership. We have different tiers. I can't remember the prices, 5, 15, 30, something like that. But you get different access for each different tier. Has different access to different stuff. So different gifts, cool stuff we send out afterwards, after you've been a member for a bit. So yeah, and everything helps build the channel more. This is just our weekly live stream event. We have been putting out some episodes, and we'll be putting out some more after September when we get settled into our new house. So until then, we'll probably be just running live streams and shorts, and then footage for the Patreon. But I invite you to join. Learn more about snakes and exotic animals. We don't just have snakes. We have bearded dragons and tarantulas and all kinds of neat stuff. Tortoises and guinea pigs and all kinds of neat stuff that we'll have on the channel. So hit the subscribe button. Check us out on Patreon. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those things. We have a fundraiser trying to help fund us our trip to Uganda in January. So that link will be in the description of this video if you'd like to help us out. You know, 5, 10, 20 bucks, whatever you can, 1,000, whatever you feel like sending us, we will gladly accept, and we'll send you a gift from Uganda when we get back. So make sure you check out all that stuff. Our stickers will be coming in. Our official stickers will be coming in a few weeks. In the midst of working on those. Yes, I do love dark roast candy. Like I said, message me on Patreon, and we'll exchange information. We'll make it happen for sure, because I need to get your address to send you some stuff too for joining the Patreon. So I'll be on that. See, next month. I think we got a month, and we'll be sending you some stuff. So let's make sure we link up on the Patreon page. Send me that message, and that way we can fulfill all the promises. But this is Galileo, guys. Albino milk snake, and he's been a very good boy all week, or all week. He's been a good boy all week, but he's been very good for this live stream. And I'm glad that he hung out with us the whole time. And hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful week. I know I'm going to try to, approach each day with optimism. You know what I mean? Don't live in the bad moments. Look forward to the good ones. Optimism is our best tool. I had a rough week last week. Took all my optimism to get through it.
He's gotta eat. I gotta go soon.
So we're going to say goodbye to Galileo because he has to eat before we get out of here. So it's time for his meal. Say bye. Bye, Galileo.
Bye.
Yeah. So if you're here, hit that like button. I think we're coming to the end of our stream. It's been about an hour.
Yeah,
Pretty good
that's
live
fine.
stream this week. I didn't write out an itinerary or anything. I just freestyled it like I usually do. But, I always love seeing you guys. I love being here. And don't cut yourself. Don't cut yourself, Sonia. Jeez. So, Candy's critters. Of course you got to taste a critter out of your attic. All right. So, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you're here. Go check out our Patreon. Go check out all the social medias. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all those. Follow, subscribe, like. It helps our channel get to a better place and build our brand a little better. So be sure to do that. We really, really appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a great week. And we'll see you next week, Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern for our Coffee with Snakes live stream. So until next time, stay wild, but keep your feet on the ground. Take care, everybody.